Adobe Character Animator. Okay, right, let me see, where can we start here? Well, this is actually showing an example through Syphon through a mapping program. Yes, a mapping program actually called Mad Mapper, available by or for PC and for Macintosh, been for Mac for quite a while. Version 3 is the current version. I'm not using 3 at this stage, but I just wanted to show you how this actually works. It's actually live animation, which will be controlled through projection. Just for example, I'm just going to come in here and just minimize this main screen. This is a 1080i screen, and just show you, here's the mapping program. Tons of effects you can build together, layering across all sorts of different imagery. But how I'm bringing this in is basically through Syphon. So tons of effects, and I've just got one quad where I brought it and shine it. Now, just to give you a quick idea, I'm going to click another quad here, and we have the in field, or the input, and the preview, how we can actually play with the file. So what I want to do is, just for this one, I'm just going to quickly minimize this so we can see it. Just click here. As you can see here, I've got a second input because I've added the second input, and I'll just going to move this one out the side, or make actually not out the side, but actually just make a selection. So selection here, I can actually even make it really, really big. Whatever I want to make the selection of, that will appear here. Maybe that's just a little bit too big, too stretched there, just to make the character appear a little bit closer up. And on this side, I'm just going to view it just on the output side only now. Then I can just drag the screen over here. In fact, I can even turn around and actually play with angles as I'd actually project on different scenery. And see, everything's available here. So a great output through Syphon. But let's get into Character Animator itself. I just wanted to show this as a great way of how you could output it. Of course, it outputs as a straight video, but this is fantastic output if you're using it for gaming or projection or live-based performance anyway. So I'm just going to quit Mad Mapper. So I'll quit that. I won't save that one. No. And here we are now in the original Character Animator, Adobe Character Animator. And what I've got here is I've got my face. Now when you want to set your pose, just go and click that and watch what happens to my face here. Just click set. Hold for a minute, and now you can see how it's registered up and getting much better lip sync. And of course it's actually registering my movements, eyebrows, I can blink, all sorts of things. I can even come in here and I've got draggable handles, so I can actually make whatever I want by using these tools here. And of course some of the dragger tools coming up. I wanted this to fall back, and I've actually got a rest pose here. You can make this as whatever you want it to be. Maybe 3 seconds here if I do the same thing. It goes down a little bit slower. I think 1 second was probably just the perfect ideal, just to check that again. And here it goes. Now you can even make recordings, so you can play with pre-recorded and live performance all at the same time. So I might just play this recording. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Now I'll just stop that, and it goes back to my live performance again. So you can see how you could have snippets and play with live stuff, recorded stuff. And of course, once you want to export this, it's just a matter of going File, Export. I will export this because I've got a sequence. I can go to a ping sequence, a WAV file, but I want to just go to my media encoder, and I'm just going to click Scene, New Puppet, and I think I'll just save this to the desktop here, and I'll just go Save. It's opening with the media encoder. Obviously, it's all part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, and here it comes up, and all I need to do is just basically make sure that's highlighted, give it a name, desktop, that's fine. It's going to go MP4, which is great for myself and output for the Mac, and I'm just going to go Save, and it's just going to run through there once I've got that highlighted, and just click the Run Through button. So what's going to happen here, it's just going to go through and it's just saving that animation. You see what's happening down here. It is doing it to a black output because it's basically sort of just transparent. I can drop any scene in there. I'll come back to that in just a minute. But It's essentially a very easy, fast process. Now it's very easy to get things wrong, particularly with working with Character Animator. You can actually set up different scenes, different angles to having it walking, so you're seeing it's more of a 3D type version as it moves around based on your own movement. And then there's a lot of work putting all of that together, but once you build your assets, you're going to have a lot of power. So here it is. I'm just going to click on that just to open it up, and here's my 32 megabyte file. I'll just quickly open that up, and just here's the video of that.
Good morning.
So it's just saving this animation here as I put, but of course no background, but you can see the process is really easy. Now I'm just going to come back, and I'm just going to go back and quit Media Encoder, and here on the Character Animator, just to explain what's happening here, this is just the reviewing where we create a scene by clicking down to add scene, and we could add a scene that puts in a background, making sure the background goes to the bottom as well, but nonetheless we can build up a series of backgrounds with transparent backgrounds to build up different scenes, but generally one background and your image will be fine. We can even have draggable setup, so we can drag the character apart from just the hands and things, also drag the character along the scene if we need. So very cool, interesting tool. I'm going to go to the puppet tool, and what I've got here is I've clicked on just an arm, and we just use these tools down the bottom for draggable. We've got staple tools, etc., dangle tools, all sorts of things that we can look at in upcoming video after this preview. Video 2 it will be. This is video 1, and you can set up the character. So as you can see, this is basically a layered order with a few key elements targeted there, like the key elements, and you can see with the crown here. So just going to look at how these are basically set up. Basically it's giving it a plus symbol at the beginning. So that's a quick process of now it's come together. Just deconstructing this, and I'm just going to close that and just come back outside of that. I just wanted to show you the Photoshop file, how it was set up. Like initially, here's the Mad Mapper projection file, so we don't need that, just the character file that's in here, but just the characters I began to set it up. So basically all the same, I start off with a bigger character with it, and I've just actually narrowed it down to the area that I need, because it's basically transparent, so that's fine. So it's about 2000 pixels deep in this example. So if I just go and have a look at the pixels, image size, 2000 height, simply it's better to have something a little bit bigger. It can easily scale it down, that is, but if you want to scale up to show the characters come forward and as you play with different elements, etc., or use in a larger format, you certainly don't want pixelation. So start it off the largest format that you're going to need it, because it's easy to scale down. Let's cancel that. Now what you see with this layer order, there's a whole range of things. So there's the eye, each eye that's put in there, and there's a blink set up, and it's actually, this is how you start labeling it. When the right pupil to get those key elements, you see there's a plus at the beginning. So you can just set your character up with the, basically here's the body, just the body, it's just one unit really, except for the arms, which I've got down here, and another plus symbol which enables me to use those tools. So the plus at the beginning, these are the key elements, and you see those with the crowns that we saw before. So basically that's how you do it. Of course, one thing with the mouth, there's a whole lot of phonemes. Basically the F shape, starting with the normal, that's the one that's highlighted at the beginning, but you can see all the different shapes that you can build up. And with the character, when you create one, it gives you an option of actually using that, so you can actually use it as a guide to make your own. So it makes it a lot easier. Now it's very easy to make mistakes, but it's very easy once you get things together to work relatively quickly, especially when you've got your model all sorted. So a quick introduction to Character Animator, and movie number 2 will actually just show you how to put this together. Thank you for watching.